Welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. Sorry the last video kind of abruptly ended. Something just kind of came up. But we're back at it here. Yeah, I don't know. That school question is too difficult for me. I was genuinely trying to fucking figure it out, and then I got interrupted, and whatever. I'll wave the white flag on it. That's right. Or yeah, let's do this. This quest that has popped up here before going to the other stuff that will undoubtedly give us more quests. If you know me, you know my my complicated relationship with side quests. But the way that the game has kind of done side quests,
Try your apple soon enough.
I would say is how I personally like them to be dealt. Although the quests, with an exception of a few, the quests have just been kind of uninteresting, pretty bland, pretty monotonous.
Sid, I was hoping to speak to you.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just, well, as you know, we've been trying to grow fruit down here.
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but look at it now. All our hard work's finally paying off. I took it on, you see, after she died, and now the fruit's finally ready to eat. And not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact. She bred the bitter right out of it.
Impressive. And welcome news to more than a few, I'd say.
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers, on account of all they do for the hideaway. You couldn't take them some, could you? Seems better them coming from you.
It'll be nice being the bearer of good news for a change.
Oh, thank you. She always had a soft spot for that lot, see? And once they've had their share, I'll see to it that everyone else gets some. Here you go. Martel apples, they're called, in honor of her memory. You hear that, Martel? Today's finally the day. Martel would have wanted the curse breakers to be the first to try our apples. I'm sorry to put you to the trouble, Sid, but thanks. Martel would have wanted the curse breakers to be the first to try our apples. I'm sorry to put you to the trouble, Sid, but thanks.
Now, I wonder if this is a quest you can only get if you did do the previous quest. The previous quest that lady wanted me to do. And collect stuff to help her out. I'm guessing no. Also, I kind of want to stress that, I want to stress again that, another thing I like about this game with the quests is that even though the quests are kind of just whatever, the quests don't ever feel, to me personally, like we shouldn't be doing them, like we have a good reason not to be doing them. Versus a game like Final Fantasy 15, a lot of those quests a lot of them, like 90% of them at least, there was a real feeling of, why am I doing this? And that's because Final Fantasy 15, like, I just feel there's more of a sense of urgency to do stuff quickly in 15. And there's shit going on in this game too. I mean, there's wars and shit going on, but in Final Fantasy 15 you always had a clear objective where it felt like, okay, this is something that we need to try and do as quickly as possible. This game, it doesn't really feel that way. So this game, that plays into this game's advantage with the side quests.
This tongue here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clear. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
Mid.
This tongue here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clear. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
They've brought Mid back. I don't think Mid
It's not deep.
has existed in a Final Fantasy game
It's done.
since Final Fantasy V. Don't quote me on that. I don't think he's been in a main title game since Final Fantasy V, unless he's been in the MMOs. He might have been. It's just weird to me is that some of these things that I have to do are considered side quests. It's not a side quest if it's something I have to do. If it's something I have to do to advance plot, it's not a side quest.
How much water can a flower drink?
Yeah, I saw something the other day that
Come through the forge today.
suggested,
Still.
compared to other Final Fantasy games anyway, that this game didn't sell too well. From what I saw, this game sold less than Final Fantasy IX. Now, I don't know what all goes into that data, because that could be counting everything that Final Fantasy IX has sold. You know, it might not have been counting just the PlayStation 1 versions of the games, but it could also have been selling it could also have been counting the Switch versions of the game. It could have been counting the PS4 and I guess Xbox One. I don't think they're on Xbox One. So I guess just PS4. But my point is, it could have been counting the PS4 and the Switch versions of the game.
I hear there's trouble.
And if you count all those, and especially Final Fantasy IX is a game that gets a lot more credit today than it did when it first came out. So if you count all those, then maybe it is not surprising that Final Fantasy IX collectively has sold more than 16. But even comparing this game to Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 15 sold way more. I think that's a shame. I think it's more of a, honestly, I'll just put it this way. I think it's more of a shame that 15 sold as well as it did versus this game not selling as much as 15 did. Because 15 is like the third most sold game in the Final Fantasy series, according to the graph I saw. Under 7, which is number 2, now to A Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy 14. So if you don't want to count MMOs, then Final Fantasy 7 is on top, and 15 is second, I believe. And 15 just sold a shit ton. And I guess that's why it took me fucking a week or two after. I guess that's why it took me a week or two after the game released to finally have it come in the mail. But yeah, 15 wasn't good enough for it to have sold as much as it did. I like 15, don't get me wrong. I do really like 15.
You look like you could use something to eat.
I'm definitely an enjoyer of the game.
Courtesy of Martel.
But especially upon first release, there was just so many things about it.
Now, where have I heard that name before?
Weren't she the girl from the forest?
That
Course she was. An odd sort, that one. Loved plants more than people.
that just made it
Aye, and brave as a bane might. Remember when she
worse
ran
than what
back
it should
into
have
the
been.
hideaway to collect them trees when Titan attacked? Wait,
These aren't those apples, are they? Well, I'll be. She'd have been proud, and rightly so. Thank you, Sid. Them old apples were enough to curdle your guts. But these beauties are as sweet as you like.
I'll have to pay the boys down in the backyard a visit to tell them thanks.
A gift from the backyard. For your service.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a hideaway apple since. Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the things. He'd nab 'em right from the branch, make Martel livid. Not that anyone could stay mad at the man for long.
That sounds like the Sid I knew, all right.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. These aren't Martels, are they? I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the Deadlands. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clyde, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Not so much as a thank you. Well, I've got some manners at least. Thanks, Sid. You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their share. Oh, and give our compliments to the gardener, won't you?
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards.
Can't remember the last time I had fresh fruit. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. can't remember the last time I had
Yeah, but
fresh
even this is just kind of a lame side quest. You know, you get apples, you deliver them to a couple people, and you go back and you told the person that gave you the quest, hey, I delivered the apples, and that's it, really.
Think it's alright to touch him?
I guess it is kind of nice to see that lady's from the old hideout, her work being carried on. So that is something. I will give the side quest that credit.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the side quest's purpose is just to more show you, hey, remember that lady from the old hideout? She's dead now, but her work is still being, it's still being carried on. Someone has come to carry on her work. It was not all for naught.
The curse breakers.
It didn't die with her.
And their compliments. They were clearly very fond of Martel.
They remembered her. After all these years. I suppose she was very kind, even to a tongue-tied lummox like me. You were one of the good ones, Martel. Why did you have to die? She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. And now we do. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown tree. Martel lives on through the fruit it bears.
And through you. Her dream would have died with her, had you not kept it alive. That's something to be proud of.
I didn't do anything really, but thank you. You're kinder to me than I deserve.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop. And I wouldn't mind some of it either, if that's not too much to ask.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that wonderful? I'd say it's about time we planted you some siblings, don't you think?
Yeah, and also the quest is showing that the characters do remember Martel and they do miss her, and just showing that remembrance of her. It is decent world building. Decent world building.
This tongue here pulls the black from the lake water and renders it clear. You'll have to ask Mid if you want to know how it works, though.
Just look at her. Isn't Martel in fine fettle? And what about young Boppymill here? He's got some work to do if he wants to catch up with his brother Kenneth.
Do I have something new in the Wall of Memories?
How much water can a flower drink?
Not as much as a bothersome boy.
Somewhat stunted, somewhat sweet apple grown from the blighted earth thanks to the dedication and perseverance of a woman, Martel. Though she was to lose her life from the wounds she sustained in Kupka's attack on the hideaway, her legacy lives on in the saplings she saved from the ruins.
room's as ragged as...
So Martha's all right.
Yep. Others weren't so lucky, though.
Here for another of my lectures. How may I help you today? One must understand one's place in the world. Very good.
Without a ship to carry you there, Drake's breath might as well be on the moon.
Doesn't sound like anywhere is safe. Not that I'm planning a journey.
Clive. Oh, same old.
And that Otto's got me reading through the reports coming in from our allies and picking out what problems need dealing with now and what can be saved for later. It was still early days back in the old place, so I could just about handle the job myself. State of the world now, though, I need these help to sift through it all. And that's just the sifting. Actually solving any of these problems is a whole other headache. The Cursebreakers take the urgent stuff, but we're still stuck waiting for volunteers to handle the rest. So, if you even find yourself at a loose end, well, you know where to find me. So much has happened since that night. Feels like a lifetime ago. But we'll never forget those who didn't make it. Kenneth, Martell. They're still with us in our hearts.
And Sid?
And Sid, when I found out he was gone, I thought that was it for us.
He's still with us too.
With us, and in you. You took his name and gave us hope when we had none. So I suppose what I'm trying to say, don't be a stranger, eh? A hideaway ain't nothing without its Sid.
Here you go. Always something in there.
Oh, Clive. Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
The Patron's Whisper? Does that mean someone else is taking care of our friend's donations?
Oh, no. That's still me. It's just Karen has her toll, Blackthorn has his hammer. I thought a new name might liven things up. I still catalogue every item that arrives, in addition to setting aside those tokens of appreciation the sender has specified are to be presented to you personally. Would you like to see if we have any? Business is busy.
On top of my regular duties here at the Whisper, Otto has piled countless other tasks, from transcribing and sorting Stolas reports to penning needful missives. Not that I'm complaining, mind. I enjoy writing. I have ever since I learned my letters from Jara back in the old hideaway. I won't claim to have been his best student, though. That honor goes to Shirley. Still, I'd like to think Jara will be proud of me too. We're here, were he with us today.
Words are immortal.
They live on in others, and in the words are your own, and too will you. Do you know who told me that? It was Jara, in our last lesson before Titan came. It stayed with me ever since his passing, and inspired me to become what I am today. I imagine we survivors all have a story like that, of someone who remains with us, even though they're gone.
Come to claim your just desserts? Hasn't been delivered yet, I'm afraid. You earned this. I gave you that one, didn't I? All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid. Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. I gave you that one, didn't I?
I thought... I'm a little confused because I thought the green diamond icon right beside where it says renown and I have 65, I thought that would go down. I thought that was stuff I was spending to get the stuff here for completing side quests. But maybe not. I guess not.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Clive, here you are, Kubo. I've been looking all over for you.
What's the matter, Nectar?
The matter is this, Kubo.
The hunt board. It's where the Cursebreakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our operations if they were left to roam free. Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Was that what you wanted to know?
Of course not, Kubo. I knew all that already. And that's why I need your help. As I need to remind you, Kubo, I am the mightiest of all the Moogles. No friend, blah, 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 other stuff. So I need you to slay them all, Kubo.
Right. Well, leaving your mightiness aside for the moment, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. What with the Blight and the war, the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. So if the Cursebreakers are too busy to help, then perhaps I can. Or at least I can try.
Oh, thank you, Kubo. It's so good to have found someone who understands me, Kubo. I'll stay here then and keep an eye on all the billets that get posted on the board. So if there's anything you need to do, ask me. Did you see that the Cursebreakers give every billet a rank of riskiness, Kubo? From the thing could kill you with a single swipe to a 7-nation army couldn't scratch this thing's skin. But I'm sure you'll be fine, Kubo. Well, not sure, but that's one risk I'm willing to take. It's precisely what you see before you, Kubo. The Cursebreakers note down the details of any particularly dangerous monsters they hear about or encounter in the course of their duties, Kubo. And post the billets here, Kubo, so that any stout soul who wishes to do the realm a service might set off to slaughter any ungodly whore or two, which is where you come in, Kubo. As for me, I have the most important duty of all, painting a big red cross over each and every one you cut down, Kubo, so that everyone can sleep at night knowing that the realm is a safer place. Did I ever tell you about the time I visited the Great Continent, Kubo?
I don't think so.
Of course I didn't, because I've never been, Kubo. Look at these wings. Do they look like the sort that might carry Mugo across countless leagues of open sea? They call me Nectar the Bold, not Nectar the Stupid, Kubo. Another C and then a B. A trader coming by the way of Caer Norvent met with a troop of curse breakers traveling in the opposite direction and warned them of a wicked winged harpy on the road ahead, his eyes wild and flickering. Though the curse breakers saw nothing untoward on their own journey through their pass, the sound of cackling laughter from the trees ensured that they kept up a brisk pace. The Angel of Death. Caer Norvent. Well, this enemy sounds a lot like this that I've already killed. Trader coming by the way of Caer Norvent met with a troop of curse breakers traveling in the opposite direction and warned them. Belphegor. The reports have been received of a wild avis of striking size making its nest atop the hill adjacent to Eastpool, though all efforts are being made not to rouse the beast's ire. It is surely but a matter of time before it needs to feed. I hereby petition any brave volunteers to march to the northern border that we might cut the fiend down before it makes trenchers of the nearby villages. So I guess that this is where that one hunt's gonna be, the C-rated one, and this is where the B-rated hunt's gonna be. But I can't do them now, even if I wanted to. So I guess it's about time to move on with plot here.
Without a ship to carry you there, Drake's breath might as well be on the moon.
Doesn't sound like anywhere is. Not that I'm planning a journey.
Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. And we'll start back with lore next time. I had those two videos that went on for an hour and a half, so I shouldn't stress over this as much as I do, but I'd like to try and keep the average of my videos to as close as an hour as possible. So this will, and in the video here, will really help bring the average video back down closer to exactly an hour. But yeah, until next time.